Yep. What's up, everybody? Salutations and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. I'm your host, Twist Johnson. So grab your substance and your drinks, or stay sober minded if you will. And with that being said, let's start the show. But if you like the way I'm feeling and you feeling the vibe, like, share, and subscribe. So you can follow me on Instagram at that's TWISTJOHNSON underscore. So we're gonna start the show, and the first thing we're going to do before we get the guests going, we going to pay our bills. So we got the current events that nobody asked for. All right, so the first thing we got, Southwest Airlines is set to make a significant change after 50 years of its system. The Bowl Alert platform reports that instead of having a first come first seating, now there will be assigned seats. So Southwest plans to launch its premium seating options later this year, way before 2025. You can also expect with this feature to have more leg room for those willing to pay extra. So for those of you guys who fly Southwest, I flew Southwest a time or two. What it is that instead of the standardized seating like we have in Delta and American Airlines, whichever flights that you take, you pay for the assigned seats. You get first class, you get coach, you get what's the other ones? If you fly, you fly. But what happens with Southwest is you just pay to go on board, and what they usually do is they have the children go first, or they have people with disabilities that go. And there's no first class, there's no coach, there's no premiums. But what they're going to do is they're going to start assigning seats. I don't know what that's going to do for as far as codes and like all those different categories. So we'll figure it out. With that being said, we got our boy Reality in the building. So we're gonna let him do the honors of the pour out and the pour up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with the pour out and pour out is for our dead people, the people who passed on. We want to just give them a moment of silence or remembrance, or we can pour up for someone. We can celebrate them for their birthday, celebrate them for their accomplishments and opportunities. So, reality.
Yo,
Let's give a pour out or pour up. Your choice.
we gonna pull up, man. It's a celebration of life. We always gonna show respect to our fallen soldiers and our lost ones, but we gonna keep them alive here. So we gonna celebrate the people while they still here, man. Shout out to my brother whose birthday is August 2nd is coming up. We gonna turn up. Shout out to my big bro Automatic the Cannibal. His birthday was July 24th. Shout out to my niece Haven. Shout out to Kim. Her birthday is July 31st. It's gonna be a good time. You know,
All
God
right.
bless, man. We up.
Well, let's pour up. Yeah.
To all
So
the
with that being
Leos.
said, let's start the show. In today's segment, let's talk about reality. First and foremost, my brother, great to have you on the show. This is
Thank you,
a
thank you.
treat for me. I'm very excited. We've been waiting to do this for a long time. So let's talk about reality. Like, what is reality? Who is reality as a person?
Reality is the most genuine soul you'll ever meet out here on the planet. Uh, my goal in life is to be the realest that ever lived. So before I'm real with you, Twist, before I'm real with any of my peoples, I gotta be real with myself before I step outside, man. You know, so
Amen.
this is genuine, bro. If it ain't real, I ain't feeling it, and I ain't feeling it if it
Amen.
ain't real.
So, where did the name reality stem from? Is that your government name or is that a stage name?
Nah, that's my government. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. My pops was going through his 5% phase at a certain time, and one of his attributes was reality, and he chose to give me that name at birth. And my mother was jacking it, so boom. And
I
shout out
love
to
that.
my son Vision, you heard?
Shout out to Vision. All
Yeah.
right. Let's jump into the music part. So, you've been doing music, you out there on the scenes, you're making waves. Tell us what inspired you to be an artist.
Ah, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like it just happened naturally. It's just something about creating that we do as a people, and we do so often in our own minds. Even people that wouldn't even call themselves creators, when they doubt themselves, they create a bunch of scenarios in their brain. So we all have the ability to do that, you know.
Mhm.
So when we have things we see, it's just like, dang, like Michael Jackson was a huge inspiration for me, of course, growing up in church and like just singing those songs. Like I remember one day I just blinked. We were in church, me and my brother, and we'll have a selection from the Young Israelites, and that's just what
Mm.
it was. Like it was just so natural. It was like, all right,
Right.
you either do this, like this is what you do. So
Hmm.
that's just what it was.
Right. I was definitely in that audience because I also have a church background. I wasn't singing, however, but I did have the pleasure to watch you sing at an early age. Um, how are you? Like, were you like 7, 8 years old?
Yo, since I could remember, bro. Like
Since you can remember, you've been
people ask
singing.
me, how long have you been doing music? I don't know. As long as like my
Right.
whole life, my whole
Right.
life.
I mean, let me ask you, is it difficult to make a transition from being a gospel artist to being a hip hop neo soul artist? Like, do you feel like the elders are like, oh, you didn't went and did the Bonnie, the devil's music? You know how it goes.
So the thing about that is being in church, and just being in touch with the older generation. Like I was raised by my grandmother, and like it was like it wasn't a big church. It was only a
Mm.
select few people that would show up, and they the OGs, OGs. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? They certified triple OGs in there. Like they gave it like the guard years ago. Like
right.
every revival, few days a week. Like life revolves around church for them. So to know those old songs, like it feels good to like be able to communicate with the older generation. So that's really where it started from, and just being outspoken myself and asking questions in church, and you know, um, I would never consider. I didn't consider myself a gospel artist, but more so a vessel. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because we here to do a specific job. Like they always told us, when God give you a gift and you don't use it, He take it away from you. Like I
Amen.
realized me being able to use my voice, whether I'm rapping, singing, or like just spoken word, or just like saying what it is and keeping it real. Like
Mm.
I have a responsibility to do what I got to do, and whether that be me speaking, me being there, just being present. So the transition, it wasn't necessarily too hard, I would say, but just have being able to like write songs, that like being in church, like that definitely helps. You have the hymn books. Sometimes you read songs from there. You see the hook, verse one, chorus. So like that definitely helped with my natural like songwriting ability and when it came to like structuring music. Cause I've been doing
Mm.
writing my own songs like as early as second grade as I can remember. Like start
Oh,
remixing other stuff. And even now, like I want my grandmother to be able to listen to my music too. So I don't curse as much as I possibly can, you know. So just expanding my vocabulary, having certain things to say, you
um,
know.
that's magnificent. What would you say? Like, what would you say to a new artist who's actually thinking about, hey, you know what, this is the direction I want to go? Um, as a person who's been doing this for like some years, know what it is to rub elbows with producers in the industry, music artists in the industry,
Yeah.
but be independent. Like, what is something that is very important that you feel like someone that's entering this line of work now? What kind of information would you tell them? Like.
First and foremost, I always tell people like, you ever heard the term, yo, what's the word? Like as a greeting or things like that. The word is purpose. Why do you
Mm.
want to do what you want to do? Like the goal is not to be like, if your goal is to be famous, you don't have to make music to do that. There's tons of other ways, but there's certain people like you can't fake the funk. In life, you get paid for who you really are, not who you pretend to be. So if you're gonna step into something and you're gonna be around me, I'm here to bring the best out of you, and I'm gonna keep it real with you at all times. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm sorry, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. But
Mm.
just be genuine and be real. And if you really want to learn and grow, and you have a goal, set little goals for yourself.
Amen.
Certain things I can do now, like, oh my God, well. I couldn't do certain shit like that like a
Easy.
year or 2 years ago. It might be fucking like super duper easy for someone else, but like I'm on my own path. I'm not measuring myself according to nobody else. So just stay in your
Amen.
lane and do what you do. Cause
Mm.
I could have did that better.
Well put. Like there you have it for you young bucks out there that's thinking about going into the music direction. Like make sure that you have that purpose and intention. Let me ask you. It seems like you're a jack of all trades. We can see in the background you have the equipment. So tell us, what do you do in the music world? From what I know, you produce, you engineer, you're an artist. Is there anything else that you do? Like, are you doing all of this on your own? Do you have like a creative team? I know you write. Do you have people that help you come up with these concepts, like
Hmm.
equipment wise, just basically structure wise? Let's all wrap it in. What are you doing?
You're doing God's work.
Real
Respectfully.
God,
Like we sonic technicians, man. So I'm here to play whatever role I gotta play. I have my own things that I'm working on. I'm working on some joint projects. Like there's always stuff going down in the mix. So right now, currently, this is a song I'm working on. It's gonna go on my album called Let's Be Real. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a breakup dance album. I'm giving like hip hop soul vibes. So we're gonna take you on like a whole experience. We're gonna make you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you in the '90s riding around in your Jeep or whatever down on Sunset Boulevard at the sunset and all that. Like, yo, this is hard. You're gonna be bopping. You're gonna want to go dance in the club to this. It's gonna make you really want to get intimate when you dancing like the old school, how they used to party and like the Love and Basketball movies and how they was
Hey,
dancing in the wood. Like, let's get close and dance like that with a new school flavor. You feel me?
all right. So, like, do we know like a day that we expecting to have this project drop?
There's no specific date, but best believe before 2024 is up, I will be releasing a couple singles. I actually just released a single called Wrong One in
Okay.
May. Um, it's out right now on all platforms, y'all. So if y'all want to
Well,
go tap in and vibe to that, um, it's basically just about keeping it real. Sometimes we just gotta take things and accept things for what they are. Some things are out of our control, and
mm-hmm.
one thing we can control is who we want to surround ourselves with and who
Mm-hmm.
we want to utilize and build with, things like that. And I guess you got the wrong one.
You got the one.
That's
Well,
part of the
let's
game,
talk.
man.
Let's talk about the right one.
Hmm.
You've had a lot of projects out. Mixtapes. Just EPs. You had albums. So this is not your first stab at it. Can you tell me how it felt when you did your first project? Like, where were you at? Where was your mindset?
So years and years ago, I'd say about like 2017, I
Hmm.
released like a little EP on YouTube just called the Vibe Tape, because
Okay.
everybody knows me as a person that does music, like, but I don't release as much music as I possibly can for my own reasons, my own personal reasons, and I'm over here being a perfectionist and stuff like that. So, that really, it felt good to just like release something and being like, yeah, go check me out, like take me seriously.
Hmm.
This is not just something like I don't want people to come up to me, hey man, you should try to record. Like knowing like and they don't know that I have thousands of songs in the stash. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like no. When you see me, you should know. Like, yo, wait, you do what? If you didn't know, you're gonna know now, but I'm sure you know before you approach. That's the goal. So
I mean, shit. I mean, I'm a fan of your music. I support your music. I listen to it. It's
thank you,
actually in
thank
my algorithm of playlist.
you.
Um, so I do recall. I want to bring up this. There was a I don't know if it was a skit. From the comments that I read, it actually was authentic. It was real. Do you recall posting something where you was crying, right?
Uh-huh.
And you were saying, "I love her. Where she's at."
Yeah.
Like if you watched it and you familiar with it, you would think that you was under the influence, like intoxicated at the moment. What was going on at that moment? Like, what was going on with you?
Which one? Was I on the roof?
No, it seemed I'm not sure. It was dark. You were crying, and it was more so you were just like you were like kind of like showing vulnerability with your heart, as far
Oh
as like.
yeah. So this is the old school video with the
Mhm.
reality with the braces.
Okay, yeah.
That's the one you talking
Hope you
about?
don't mind us talking about
No, no,
that,
no,
but
that's fine. I put it out there for a reason.
yeah.
But yeah, man, nah, that was like my first real relationship. So go that dives into my first debut original EP entitled 10112. It was about the tattoo I have on my right hand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I went through a whole lot in high school. Anytime we went through something and she talked to her parents, she would come back and be like, yeah, my mom says it's just the first love thing. And I always wanted to be more than that, you know? So when we went
Mm-hmm.
through things, it's like she was able to handle it a certain way. And it was just like, I love you, you know? So part of
Right.
that was me seeking validation from somebody else, trying to find love in somebody else that I should have been finding in myself. But yeah, it, yeah, for sure.
Right.
It definitely inspired a bunch of other moments, and it's a reminder to myself, like, you don't want to put yourself in situations like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It hurts,
Like
but we
I
all go
say,
through it sometimes, and it's all right, it's real.
yeah,
But
like thank you for sharing that because I think as an artist, people judge you when you put yourself out there.
mhm,
People say, "Oh, this is not for everyone." Like, this is not for you. This is for me. But in all reality, like it is. You have to have supporters. You have to have a fan base in order for you to like actually be an artist.
yeah,
So, in some sense, you are putting yourself out there for the world. And when I saw that footage, I was like, "Oh God!" Like he's probably gonna go viral in the wrong way.
yeah,
But thank God it never went that way. But
yeah.
as an artist,
It wasn't for that.
right? Like so,
They
you do
put it in the
a lot
group
of
chat for the seniors.
right.
There was a whole bunch. They was like, "Oh, look at him. He misses her. He loves her." There was a
Yeah,
whole
I mean, it
bunch
could
like, "Yo,
go.
bro, you look stupid."
People be like that was a simp move, or for the females, and oh, he's so sweet.
Yo, and the
I'm about to
crazy thing
call him right
about it,
now. Get a
that
DM.
night, like I was one of the few, if not the only black dude that used to chill with all the like Hispanic people up at
Yeah.
Dykeville, like my peoples uptown, you know what I'm saying, from the Heights and all that. They used to take me to the parties, get me lit. So shout out to the Heights, shout out to
Shout
Dykeman,
out
shout
to the
out to my
Heights.
people. You know that I love y'all all day, every day. You feel me?
Yeah,
um,
that was in the Heights,
Word.
right? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fact. Yo, bro, I was at the crib. It was like 4 joints. Like, we all chilling. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It was vibes. Music was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I had the strawberry. My Aunt Shirley bought me. Rest in peace, Aunt Shirley.
That strawberry would do that.
Yo,
Okay.
look, I was 17, bro.
Mm-hmm. You was 17. I mean, come on, 17.
I
We
don't
still
even drink. Like,
right.
I can't hold
It
that.
happened.
Like,
Thank God it wasn't the henny. Probably would have been out there doing
no, I ain't
something.
gonna lie. There was Henny. There was a whole bunch of
It was
that.
henny
There
in
was
there.
the
Okay.
Don, the Don, Don,
I
Don,
mean,
Julio, the Patron. You know that. Nah, he got lit, but
we all know the
I didn't
brown
know my
water
limit. I didn't know my
first.
limit at the time, so that's when I found out.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and I
you
was in my bag. First it started, oh my God, what did she do to you? Talking to one shorty. The next thing you know, nigga on the roof like, yo, man, yo, 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 I love her, bro. And the
I
other
remember.
niggas is, yo,
I mean, is that still posted on social media somewhere out there in the world?
I kind of hope not, but yeah, I think so. It's up there somewhere.
Probably is out there. So
I posted a few videos of me crying, and I'm not a crying ass nigga. Like,
right.
believe you me. Like, I'm very animated, you know what I mean, things like that. But at the end of the day, if you make me cry, you
I
go ahead.
mean, it's all right. It's a part of being human, and
Yeah,
it shows that like you don't have to fake the funk. Like
yeah,
you're still a person, and
hmm
that's what a lot of artists forget to do.
yeah.
Show that they could be relatable and connect.
That's a
Especially,
fact.
let's talk about that. A lot of your material seems to be going into like getting with the girls and making love, R&B. You do got some hip hop material in there.
Hmm.
Um, being a R&B artist, do you consider yourself um to gravitate more as being like a sex symbol or someone that's trying to create a realm to help others approach the girl that they want without having to, in today's age, yo, bitch, come here, let me,
Yeah.
go over here. It seems like you still have that old school essence to where it's like, hey, I
Hmm.
want to talk to you for a little bit. Let's go walk in the park, hold hands,
Yeah.
have a picnic. Um, why are you still not why? Let me rephrase the question. What makes you take that approach rather than the approach that's catching rhythm now? nowadays?
So everything inspires something. You feel me? There's a lot of people remixing things, and I love writing. There's just something about like we spell words. So when we put these things together, what are we casting? Spells. So, which is like I
Mm,
take words very seriously, and like there's nothing wrong with the word love. You know what I mean? A lot of people are afraid of that word, but in all essence, that's what we really are. It's when we try to run from it where we find ourselves having those internal issues and things like that. Like I heard somebody say yesterday to a kid, "Oh yeah, you can't love everybody."
mm,
You're telling a kid something that comes natural to them and it's harmless. Love is harmless. You know what I mean? However, you can love somebody from a distance. You know what I mean? If you don't feel that, this, that, and the third, there's ways around that. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it's working for me. It's worked for me. Like, what are we talking about? I've learned one thing for sure in this lifetime. A woman is not gonna be around you long term if a man long term if she can't learn anything from you and she don't feel safe around you.
mm,
What makes you feel safe? Every dude, we all got privates. You know what I mean? We all got them.
right.
What's gonna separate you from
Mm,
everybody else?
I
Can't
love that.
I want to make your mind ejaculate, shorty? Like, like for real, like for real.
Yeah, for real. Like I grew up listening to R&B and like that's the type of feel, but I'm from that era. But
Hmm.
I enjoy actually, wanting to get the massage you out, lay them on the bed,
You know
the
that.
foreplay. But you know, I'm not gonna knock it. I love the R&B that's out right now,
Yeah.
and it definitely
It's
gets us
about a
on
mix. It's about a mix.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
different territory. So it's like, fuck it, we're not gonna do all this foreplay. The
Yeah.
foreplay now is throwing a pill in your mouth, letting you get all fucked up, giving you a shot or two,
No,
and then after
respectfully.
that, you bending over, and we
Mm.
gonna get it. Like, and then after
And
that, we gonna Uber you home. Like
let
there's
me
no
just say
cuddling.
this too.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of music that I have in the stash that I just haven't released yet.
Okay.
So the goal is to make sure I release it in a certain time so I don't outdate myself. So I'm not
Mm,
like giving the world an older version of me. Obviously, there's a rollout. There's going to be some things like, how Marvel plans out their movies and stuff like that. Shout out Marvel.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Catch me. You feel me? There's a rollout. The people that know what's going on in the production, they know about these dates. All right, the movie don't get shot in one day. You know what I mean? You can have the concept, you can have the script, but it's a process and a rollout. And we're gonna make the rollout a little faster for the fans and all that, and for those that
Mm,
need a dose of reality. Because best believe you, me,
love
they
that.
need a dose of reality for sure.
Let's talk about someone. Let's venture into the artist of reality when it comes to the public domain. Shows. You've done shows.
Absolutely, plenty of them.
How tell us what arenas, what venues you've performed at, and how do you prepare to be on stage in front of all
Hmm.
these crowds? Like, is it nerve wracking? Do you get
So
anxiety? Tell us about
honestly, I've been performing my whole life, like starting from church. Like it was a small church and it's located in Harlem, but it's also East Harlem.
it.
But there was a whole bunch of like tourists that would come through like every once in a while. You might like find 3, 4 tourists or like three other people from a visiting church that I've never seen before that I don't know. And it's a new crowd. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I'm thinking about singing songs that they may know. If they know the song, I can help transition into this one, things like that. So it's all about like, boom. Like I said, starts at church, and
Okay.
then as a kid, I was in Young People's. Me and my brother were in the Young People's Chorus in New York City, and
Hmm.
like we performed at Carnegie Hall, 92nd Street Y, different things. I wasn't by myself in those, but I did always did like the local talent shows, open mics. Um, so we started booking our own shows at spots like Silvana. Then we started getting booked to play at the Seville with the
Hmm.
Rakim Walker Project. We didn't shut down Harlem, Melba. Shout out to Melba Wilson. You know what I
Mm.
mean? We had the block locked off, performing in front of hundreds of people every weekend. You know, performed in Pennsylvania, did weddings. I love the Hamptons. Shout out Gurney's. That's a great venue. I love it out there.
Shout out.
It was a little nerve wracking because when you look out, like we were all the way out there. If I'm not mistaken, we were in Montauk. So this is
Mm.
like straight water. And I started tweaking a
Really?
little bit. I was like, yo,
uh,
this is straight water.
Straight water.
It's straight water. No
Uh,
land.
it sounds like a lot of venues. So
The
you're
Apollo, of
not
course.
not
You know.
shy. Like you actually so naturally you have the like you have the anxiety stuff down pat to where you can go on the stage and you're comfortable. Like, hey, I'm right here.
Yeah.
This is what it
When
is.
when you know your power, you know, I know what
Mhm.
I'm here for. So at the end of the day, I'm just blessed and that I have the opportunity to be able to use my voice to inspire people. You know,
Love
is
that.
my voice is important. There's a blind dude um, that my father introduced me to, and he played on one of my songs, and I watched this blind man like literally try to type my song, and he didn't have the accessibility thing on because it was a new phone. Before
Mm.
he got to that, he's trying to type up reality, da da da. Like the song was called "Fuck Niggas." That was the song he was jacking. You know what I'm saying? But he can't even see me. You know what I mean? And
Right.
he's literally like trying his best to do something that he physically can't do right now. You know what I mean? Just to get a dose of reality. And that's like when things like that happen, man.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
I mean that is a blessing. I know for me, like knowing you on a personal tip and then actually becoming a supporter and a fan, like for me it hits different. Like there's a lot of individuals that I know, connected family wise and just like we associated by like whatever type of areas we grew up in. It's always a breath of fresh air to see someone on the TV and be like, I know that person. Like, oh yeah, like that's them. It's exciting. So, like, I remember the first time like I saw you performing the "Can We Talk" song. I love that song. You were in the park, Central Park. I believe it's Central Park because I remember going down that area. And this was around the time the I don't want to get the terminology wrong, but is it the drop the mic or open mic concert that everyone was starting to do? That when everyone has the mic in the street.
It's in there. It's like around that time. Even now, it's still
Right. Yeah.
popular, things like that. But it
So
was my own.
yeah.
Shout out to Oz. He filmed it. We shot it in the park. We caught a good setting and things like that. But yeah,
So
man.
it's a reboot of the Tevin Campbell Can We Talk, which is a nostalgic and classic. Um, what I want to ask about that is, how did you feel comfortable enough to take a legendary, timeless song and be able to execute it without feeling like, damn, I hope I don't fuck this up and disturb the masses?
So honestly, I remember laying down. I was living in the Bronx at the time. I was living with my bro Johnny, and I had my studio set up there. Everybody sleeping. It's like 1, probably 2 in the morning, and I'm just thinking about the song, and I just go, last night we started sexing,
Mhm.
and I noticed things could get messy. You know what I mean? And it just flowed naturally. And I so Can We Talk was a song I always loved growing up,
Mhm.
and I always wanted to sing it. Like at a talent show, I would sing and dance in my living room and pretend I was doing like the local talent show and performing
Right.
for my like the girl that I wanted to be my girlfriend at the time or whatever and shit like
Mhm.
that. And she, oh my god, like things like that. And it just flowed naturally. And I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I don't wanna I don't wanna like say it's a cover, more so my rendition and like
Right.
me paying homage to the G's, man, because a lot of people in this generation, in my generation, and the younger generation, they don't even
Mhm.
know that song.
They don't. They don't. So like, yeah, when
What?
when the younger generation takes a timeless song, it's always to where it's like it's nerve wracking for the ones that actually know the original sample or the original material. Oh, let's see how they do with this, because you can't just be fucking around with this. So when it started to prompt and I heard like how the words were transitioning and it sounded closely knit with the actual song, I was like, okay, let's see where he gonna go with it. But by this time, I'm already confident in what you could bring to the table. So I'm playing it in front of a group of people and hoping that like they like, oh, this that Trevor Campbell joint. So I was happy to see that you do it, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you guys out there,
Yeah,
y'all can catch that on YouTube. You could give the honors of what the song is called. I know what it's called,
yeah.
but
This song
you
is
got the
called
honors.
"Can We Talk" by Reality.
Mm,
It's on all platforms. Go check out the video on YouTube. Um, yeah, and it's me talking to the younger generation as well. I like to say that I'm the bridge in the gap. You know what I
mm,
mean, between the old generation and the young generation. Is yeah, for real. Nowadays things are more like sex oriented, and like the essence of love and passion is like, yeah, you can feel it, but like let's like focus on that because that's the stuff that's really important. You know, that's
mm-hmm.
the unexplainable stuff. So
That.
the
Let's
closer
talk
we
about
can get to explaining that, the better. You feel me?
let's talk about your newer material. You have a song. I screened it. I was telling you off air how I
Hmm.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Tell us how that came about. What was the song about?
So that's a beat produced by Fran M. Shout out to him. That was for a placement. That was supposed to be for a TV show. And my bro Automatic, like he was getting the beats and he was like, yeah, bro, Fran said this one is for you. I'm like, all right. And to be honest, like I, I didn't really like the beat that much.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like it wasn't grabbing me. Like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but we had a deadline, you know what I mean? So one day me and my boy Oz, we took a stroll by Columbia just to go like just chill and get out the hood. And I'm writing, but I'm actually going through something at the same time. And that was just me, like, being real. And I honestly, after I recorded that song, I didn't listen to it a lot because I didn't really like it. And Auto engineered that session. And on the second verse, I went up and I said, "Cause you're younger and I don't want to play no games with you." And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to do that.
Right.
But then after I did that, the nigga paused it. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
because Auto be vocal coaching you. Like,
Right.
he's my
Yes.
favorite rapper, but like, he also has a dope ass voice for the people that don't know. So shout out to
Mm-hmm.
him. Like, he definitely, and he's a Leo, so he would take charge and he was like, nah, do it like this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you feel what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah. And like, it felt good. I made him proud because he didn't have to tell me nothing. It was just like natural and I felt comfortable enough. But like, the concept itself, man, it's just like I said, it's about being real with yourself and accepting things for what they are. The hook, I
Mm-hmm.
go, I'm guessing it's part of the game, and of course it's gonna bother me now. I'm watching you push me away. It don't seem like you want me around no more. Actions speak louder than words. It don't feel like you holding me down. So fuck it, I'm wrong one, cause you got the wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. You got the
Hey.
wrong one,
Hey.
and I feel like the wrong one for you. Maybe I'm
Hey.
the wrong one. Shorty, you got the wrong one. Like, I'm not the one to play with. Gangster.
The wrong one.
You don't play
I'm
with me
telling
in the
you.
bounce. It's
I
part of the
think that
game. Hmm.
that was the clip that I seen when you was giving exclusive clips of like what the video vision was gonna
Yeah,
look like.
yeah, it's there.
When I was like, oh, but then like I'm used to you just throwing in a wrench like organically when you starting to feel it, and
Yeah.
that's just what art is about. Like now, I want to say like an artist to artist, it's usually the beats or the material that you feel like I'm not really attached to it at that moment.
That it be the
That
joints,
usually
yeah.
is the ones that gravitate the most attention. Like, yo, bro, what was you thinking? You like, "Man, that shit was like some light stuff."
Nah, for
But it,
real.
it just goes to show is just like even when you're not in it, like the soul is still there. Like that's just what it is of being an artist is still being able to create through pain. Even when you're happy, even when you're sad, or even when you're not even thinking about it, you can just blow it.
Yeah,
Um, let me let me play. Let's play a game. We a little press. C Thomas coming in, so we're gonna play an R&B game because you're R&B king. So let's do it. I'm gonna ask you a few things. You tell me the other side or not. Okay. So
the
the
other
first
side.
is gonna be yeah. So I'm gonna say it's basically like a this one. You just tell me. Okay. We'll do it real fast. Okay. All right. So the first one is old school R&B or new school R&B.
Old school R&B.
Okay. All right.
Damn.
Uh, Mary J. or Faith Evans.
Mary J, that's the queen of hip hop soul. You looking at the king right here, baby. You gotta go with Mary
Okay.
on that. But shout out to
We're
Faith
gonna go a little
Evans, man.
further. Barry White, or Teddy Pendergrass.
Teddy, I'm sorry. I just got a special connection to Teddy. My
Okay.
brother put me on, you know what I mean?
Chris Brown or Usher. Mm, that's his brother. You can plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
You gonna plead the
I
fifth on
plead the
that? All
fifth.
right, cool.
Usher's
Michael
getting all his
Jackson.
flowers now, man.
Yeah, give them both their flowers though.
That's a fact.
Michael Jackson or Prince.
I'm a Michael Jackson fan. I'm gonna go
Me
Michael all
too.
day. I love
But
you,
I love
Prince.
Prince too. You're right. All right. I'm gonna throw a wrench. The Last Dragon or Return of the Dragon.
You might hate me, but I haven't seen any of those movies. I haven't seen.
Okay. Well, the
But
Last
The Last
Dragon.
Dragon, because you started it. It's the original.
Okay.
It's the original. The original is the joint.
I'm gonna try to
Without
edit
the
this out, but you're gonna lose some black points. But nah. All right. I got it. Tyrese or Genuine.
Tyrese.
Mm, damn.
What?
Okay. Okay.
Tyrese.
Tyrese. Okay.
That's close.
Tank.
Tyrese
Oh,
is my dude.
ready?
hmm
Tank or Avant.
Tank.
Okay.
Oh man, I love them both, man.
All right. Jacquees or no, I don't want to tie them to them. Okay. Jacquees or Trey Songz.
I'm gonna go Trey Songz because Trey Songz
Okay.
was a big part of like a big like growing up.
Okay.
Trey Songz he set the standard for me at a certain point.
Okay. And last one, Neo or Jamie Foxx.
I'm gonna go Neo.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
Neo. I'm gonna go
Respect.
Neo. Entertainer wise, Jamie Foxx, but just
Hmm.
solely like on the hits and music itself, like even though Jamie he's super dope. Neo,
Yeah.
you can't sleep on him. Anytime you can't skip a Neo song. There's not one Neo song that like
Mhm.
you're gonna skip if you hear it on the radio. I'm sorry. He just got
Okay.
more. I don't know. Sorry, no judgment. I'm a Neo fan.
That's that game. So let me ask, what type of music do you listen to? Not what I mean. I'm pretty sure any music inspires us. But what do you listen to on your leisure time? Like, what do you listen to? You
Well,
listen to
when it's not
country,
the
R&B?
when it's not the music that I'm like working on, and I just want to hear how it sounds in the headphones, so I'm not blasting that like 50 times over and over on repeat. Um, I'm listening to a lot of stuff like I'm listening, shout out to the Sweepers. You know what I'm saying? From the same hood. Shout out to the youngins. My little brother from Brooklyn, K Gliz. Shout out to him and his peoples out there, the troopers, man. Um, I'm listening to new stuff. I definitely dive in my R&B bag because as a vocalist myself, I want to get better. So I'm definitely listening to Mary J. I've been listening
Mm,
to Brian McKnight some more so I can get my riff game up. Over the past week I have, but like it's very diverse. But yeah, there's a whole lot of R&B. I love all type. I like the new Detroit drill type beats. Ice Wedge Gizo. I fuck with his music. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dope people. My playlist is very extensive. Like I'm not gonna
mm.
lie. I'm not gonna lie.
You got a top five?
Top five for what? Like that I'm listening to
R and
right
B
now.
or rap, whichever one. Give us a top five. What is reality's top five?
Damn, I'm not good at these games.
This wasn't a game no more. We just having a conversation.
Nah, my top five. So my favorite rapper, I'm not gonna
Okay.
hold you. His name is Automatic the Cannibal. Uh, if
Automatically
you
Cam.
Automatic the Cannibal, that's a fact.
Automatic the Cannibal. Okay.
Yeah, that's a fact. He's my favorite rapper.
All right. So he's one.
He's super duper dope. Um,
Okay.
my other bro, Christopher Swift. These are, and when I say that, I'm not saying that because these are my boys. These are people that I
It's
love.
okay.
Like
It's your
these
top five.
people are dope. We're gonna go with Eclipse for number three. Eclipse
Um,
is like he could be number two. It's interchangeable, but I ain't gonna lie. Then you gotta go with like you gonna go with Jada because I've never heard a whack verse from him.
Jada Kiss. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And believe it or not, um, I'm gonna go Ransom too.
Ransom. People.
Ransom is
People
nice. They be
don't know
sleeping.
about
They be
Ransom.
sleeping.
A lot of people don't know about Ransom. Been out since like I was a teenager, so I remember that shit.
That don't
Let me
mean
ask you.
that these are like you know. I'm just saying these are just my favorite personally.
I want to ask you something, right?
The craziest I've heard.
Now
So
the top five. If you notice, like what I've been noticing lately is that whenever we in a like just talking amongst each other, do you notice the top five is no longer really the industry artists?
that's a
It's
fact.
someone underground.
Hmm.
What do you think? What do you think made it change now? That like a lot of people are not really like although it's there, it's entertaining, but we are gearing more towards listening to the underground and listening to like the people that own the streams, not really like A list. Like
Hmm.
what's the change?
So basically, at a certain point, there was a conversation that like was like a very heavy conversation that's still going on to this day, which was, oh, there's an agenda. This is what they want us to hear. And at the end of the day, we can only have that conversation, but for so long because
Mm,
we have all these platforms. We have all these different ways. Like we have social media. If you want to listen to to this artist, if you want to find things like that, you're in control of that. And
mm,
there's a whole bunch of people that actually took the initiative to be real with themselves and be like, all right, I'm not gonna make excuses. I don't like this type of music. I'm gonna listen to the music that I want to like. And
mm,
a lot of the music that they like, that they feel is like not a part of the agenda, whether they like drill now. I remember before it was trap, you know, they didn't like it. Now there's a
right.
whole market for it because people took ownership of it. The artists themselves smartened up and
Mm,
realized, hey, we don't need you. We can do this on our own. If y'all want to work with us, let's work. But it's about believing
mm,
in yourself and believing in the cause. And people believe that they can go on their phones, type up Beyonce.
mm.
You can, you know,
I mean that goes into another question I asked. Do you feel like it's worth being signed today with or every
whatever
avenue?
situation works for you. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
situation works for you. Um, I see for a fact there's some people like there's a situation where it might benefit them. You know,
Mm-hmm. Right.
the labels are there for a reason. They're not like
Mm-hmm.
major for no reason. You know what I mean? They do have a lot of connections. They have all the connections. They're plugged in, things like that. So if you find something that works for you and you can work something out where everybody gets taken care of, power to you. Also, if you
Mm-hmm.
feel like and you have a situation that you don't need them at all, and you know,
Yeah,
do what works for you, man.
I understand. Let
I
me
could I
all
could
right,
just
we
be a
got
rapper if I wanted to, you know, and just
right.
strictly rap and not show anything else. However, I would be limiting myself and my audience.
Okay.
So if I want to
Let's talk
expand, we can work.
let's talk about what it is to be artists who basically doing their own distribution, their own promotions, their own shows, have their own team. For yourself, would you rather be signed or would you rather be an independent artist with a distribution deal? Knowing the things you know now.
So to be honest, I like a distribution deal. That sounds good. But I'm also like not afraid to work at the end of the day. Like I'm not working with anybody that don't believe in what we got going on. If they don't believe in the vision, I can't get with it. You know what I mean? So I'm open. We can sit down, talk, and have conversations, but it has to work in everybody's favor because we got goals and we got legacies that we need to establish and strengthen, things like that. And that's just where I'm at with it.
There you
Anybody that
have
put
it.
in work with me, we all get paid. Believe that.
Mm. So you are still independent as of today, yeah?
Absolutely.
All right. Let me ask. You've gotten to rub elbows with, some heavy hitters in the game. Tell us some people that you've got to meet, or some people you got to have a conversation with, or even just let them, give you some advice and hear your music.
So I remember when I first started performing at the Red Rooster, um,
Mhm.
we we started getting a regular. His name is Peter Guns, and he
Peter.
pulled up a lot. And one of the things he said to me was, "Yo, you remind me of me when I was your age." And
Mm-hmm.
just like saying that after I'm out there, and I'm like, I'm rapping, I'm going crazy, and knowing who his son is, you know what I
Right.
mean? His son, Corey Guns, is
Corey.
dope, bro. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like just to be able to sit there and like having somebody from like the '90s was like the greatest generation of rap. I would say like the greatest generation for hip hop, in my opinion. It was like the
It was a
strongest. Like
teenager at
there
the
was a
time.
lot of stuff
Mhm.
going on. You know what I mean? So
A lot going
like
on.
just to be able to relate with somebody that like everybody, they not in that
Mhm.
situation no more, bro. And so to see like how he looked at me when he said it, and to be like, yo, like it was very inspiring, things like that. And it's just like Papa Wu. Seen him a few weeks before he passed away. Seen him perform, and he basically says the same things that we say, the same
Mhm.
conversations that we have, and like the uplifting, like motivational things we say, like the truth.
Mhm.
Like that's what we speak about, bro. And he was saying things that I say, and that was super duper inspiring. Like Fred the Godson, rest in peace, bro. I got to open up for him a few years ago before he passed away, and like he's very level headed. It was just like, man,
Right. Rest in peace to Fred.
yeah,
Word.
word. And even then, like I've met a bunch of celebrities here and there, you know what I'm saying. But the real thing that really like that boosts mine, like for lack of a better term, would be the people you don't expect to like
Mm.
to listen to your music. Those strangers that like just seen me like singing on the train before I was heading to a show, it's like, oh my God, that was dope. Oh, next thing you know, I have 8 people from Britain that are here until Tuesday. It's Friday, and they're coming to my show.
Mm.
Like this
Yeah.
was divine intervention. You know what I mean? Like it's always dope, but like I'm here to inspire. You know, I'm just a vessel for love, man. We bring people together. Like music does that. It's a universal
Mhm.
language, man. So that's the most inspiring part. Is like meeting people that genuinely become fans. You know,
Okay.
and like actually listen and appreciate what you have to offer the world. Because a lot of times you don't get that recognition, or we don't get that like feeling from the people that are around us daily.
Mm.
'Cause,
That part. I
everybody
love that.
plays roles and everybody's appreciated for the role they play. You know, be
Okay.
you. Don't
Be
pretend to
you.
be somebody else. I love you for who you are.
All right. Well, we want to wrap up. So, is there any shout out you want to give? Is there any inspiration you want to give out to young boys, young girls who is inspiring artists to come up? Like, what is reality out there?
Like I said, man, first and foremost, what's the word? Purpose. Keep your purpose genuine, man. For real. There's a lot of people nowadays that just want to squeeze their way. Attention is always going to be there. It's not going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. If you want to get some followers, all right. Where are they following you? Where are you taking them? When you get that
Mm,
attention, what are you going to do with it? Because some people want to do this and some people got to do this. Which one are you?
mm. Cool. You want to give any shout outs, my brother?
Shout out to the real ones, man. All the real ones. Shout out to anybody having a birthday. You know what I mean? We gonna pull up for the people celebrating birthdays this weekend. People doing positive things. You know, we gonna pull out for the ones we lost, man. Just know that they with us all the time, giving us guidance from the other side. Shout out to the higher power. Shout out to the big G. You know what I'm saying? Word up.
There we go. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have my brother, the artist, the young king. Look out for him. You see him on all platforms. You see him here. And we got to have him on here. Let's talk about it. So thank you, Reality, for coming. It was a great opportunity to shoot the gift with you in front of, the world. And
Nah, I
then
appreciate you,
we can
bro. Thanks for
so and
having me.
drop your yeah, it's a pleasure. Drop your social medias so they
Yeah.
could know where to find you at.
For all the real ones tuning into this right now, make sure y'all follow me on all social media platforms at Reality, REALITYUWS, as in Upper West Side, the Blessed Side, baby. You know that. It's been real. Love y'all.
Harlem, Harlem.
You
Yeah,
know
so
that.
with that being said, let me just throw it in. Now that concludes the episode of Let's Talk About It. So you know the rules. You can tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can catch me on Spotify. You can catch the clips on Instagram. And don't forget to follow my social media. Now we have a Facebook at Let's Talk About It. And the IG is Let's underscore talk about it 2025. You can follow me at Twist Johnson underscore. That's TWISTJOHNSON. Until next time, I'll miss y'all.